Ladies and gentlemen, I think it is worthwhile for us to remind ourselves what is SIT and why is SIT in this university space. 1/3 of you guys can get into A-level, but you don't want to go to A-level. And those are statistics. SIT is all about industry relevant. The degree that we put on the table for you are degrees that dovetail very well with the diploma curriculum. So we go out, look at specialized programs that are going to make a difference for Singapore, that will be important because we need manpower in those industries. We offer those degrees. So we are all about industry, and we are all about you guys, all about polytechnics, all about making sure the program dovetail well. So take a serious look at SIT.
We aim to be a university in a few years' time, once we are more established. And what do I mean by more established? More established in terms of the people that we recruit as we build up our faculty over the years. And once we become universities, our students will be even better. Why? They can then take local degrees, SIT degrees, to complement their overseas degree. They will then have the best of both worlds.
SIT uses a holistic approach when selecting applicants for admission. The following criteria are looked into. Polytechnic diplomas from one of the 5 polytechnics in Singapore. Work experience and internship. For male applicants who are currently serving national service or will be serving national service, please note that your national service is considered as part of your work experience.
Being approved by Ministry of Education and Singapore Institute of Technology was another stamp of approval of the quality and the reputation that our university has earned during the last 2 decades of its operation in the United Kingdom.
Of course, we want you to have a good chemical engineering background so that you can earn your living, but we also want you to be problem solvers, right? It's not just a matter of passing exams, okay? We want you to be aware of your responsibility to society, the environment, and we also want you to be responsible for your own personal development so that you would want to aim to become so-called professional chemical engineers.
We've got about 90 staff, academic teachers, researchers, engineers, technicians, and secretaries. We've got about 350 undergraduate students, growing to 500, that's including students from Singapore, and about 100 postgraduates, total turnover about £10 million. So we're quite a big organisation, and we're quite big partly because we do such a lot of work with industry. A large part of the industrial work in Newcastle University is actually done in my school.
So moving on to the degree itself, you've obviously got your lectures and you have the core topics, mathematics, mechanics, dynamics, and then you've got control design and management as well, and all these are very core to engineering. When you go into a job, you will be expected to use all of this knowledge from day one, and the course gives you this.
We've been delivering these degrees now here in Singapore for slightly over 2 years, and it was in September of the year just gone that we graduated very proudly our first 60 graduates from our marine technology programs. All of these degrees are accredited for professional recognition by the Royal Institution of Naval Architects and the Institute of Marine Engineering, Science and Technology.
The discipline of nutrition is extremely broad, and this is something that within our research at Newcastle University and the teaching that we provide is essential for a modern-day nutritionist. You need to understand the concepts of nutrition from the very cellular, basic molecular level, right the way through to human populations.
Technical University is a world-famous university. It's ranking the best non-English country in top 100 university. The University of Munich is #1 in Germany, and the Technical University of Munich is #2. We collaborate more closely with industry partner, and we try to transfer the knowledge you studied from the university to to the industry application.
And we don't undermine the final year projects. In fact, in some cases, we publish papers from them. In some cases, undergraduate produce projects and findings equivalent to a year and a half of PhD students' work.
When you have actually arrived as a school to a place where there was no or virtually no computer simulation industry, and because of the school and because of the students, because as a matter of fact the only product of a school is the student, because of our students, an industry was built. That was actually noticed by many governments, including the one that we are here, including your government.
Each academic year is divided into 2 semesters, and we have 4 modules in semester 1 and 4 in semester 2. And then in year 2 we have slightly longer modules because there is a dissertation there. So not quite the same number, but perhaps more depth, and there is a dissertation module there.
We have worked with Singapore for a very, very long time. In 2002, we were invited by Temasek Polytechnic to help them in the development of their Diploma of Culinary and Catering Management.
So I think my chef had re-emphasized the philosophy again is that just carry on, challenge yourself. And that is what my experience with CIA so far is, be a great fighter.
I think that I will gain from CIA, being a CIA student here is a global connection.
Because one day I had an inspiration, and that is like, I realized that culinary is actually the very practical application of nutrition.
In CIA, the education that we are receiving is not just about skills development, the practical usage of the practical cooking, the cooking part of food and everything, but they also focus on the language, on the art of food in terms of in gastronomy and in terms of expressing food in words.
In Singapore, this is our first and only international campus. We're very happy to be partnered with the Singapore Institute of Technology. And when you look at the hospitality and tourism industry around the world, Asia is where the action is happening right now. In Singapore, if you've been reading the paper, every month in Singapore for the last year has been record number of tourists coming to Singapore. That's great news for Singapore and great news for the economy.
I would have loved for something like this to have been presented to me when I went to school. This is a wonderful opportunity. All the overseas universities, not just ours, this is a wonderful opportunity for you that you've been given based on the partnership with SIT.
Personally, I feel that it's very important to develop on the language and the writing of gastronomy because it really helps to actually spread the passion. It helps in spreading the passion as well as the understanding of food to non-culinarians and people around the world.
The course is pretty intense because it's 7 weeks of approximately 3 modules every time, followed by a 1 to 2 weeks holiday. So as you can see, it's very intensive. However, it can be very challenging and very fun as well because the school organizes a lot of activities for students. I really enjoy myself with SIT.